Welcome to another episode in my GovCon Growth Bytes podcast series. We've been talking recently about growth pipelines, deal pipelines. This is really GovCon lead generation. A lot of this may sound basic, but I'll tell you that in my experience, being in this industry for 20 years, being a consultant for most of that it's surprising to me the number of companies that struggle with building good, healthy pipelines and getting organized in a way that really helps them go to market effectively. So today, I want to talk about strategic and tactical pipelines, and I want to talk about kind of what goes into those and how we can think about them effectively and correctly. So, as I've kind of mentioned before, and I think everybody knows, of course, pipelines are the heart and soul of your business. If you don't have a good pipeline, how do you forecast revenue over the next 6 to 24 months? Very, very difficult. But then we also know that deals are happening all the time, that new opportunities are getting posted every day from multiple sources. So how do you sort through all that? So let's deal with some of these questions and issues. I like to divide opportunities into two categories. One, strategic. Those are your 6 to 24 month identified opportunities. And then two, tactical. Those are the things that happen to you every day that you may not have been planning on, but could give you a good reason to pay attention to them anyway. So let's talk about strategic first, then we'll talk about tactical, and then we'll wrap up. So what goes into building a strategic pipeline? Well, let's talk about the strategy part of strategic. When's the last time you sat down with your leadership team, with your ownership, and did a strategy session or had some strategy discussions? Where are you taking the business in the next 2 years? What kind of business do you want to have in the next 5 years? What products and services and solutions are you building, marketing, and selling today? How are those, or how do those need to grow over the next 6 to 24 months? And who are your customers? Who are your customers now? Who do you want your customers to be? And based on who you're selling to now, who are the adjacent agencies and government customers who also buy what you sell, who through the relationships that you've already built, you can gain access to them because of your market, because of your employee base, your contractor base, the consultants you know, the slice of the market that you're in. How can that lead you to new customers? Okay. And then as part of all that intersection of work that you do and the customers that you're serving and that you want to get into, who are your competitors? When is the last time that you and your leadership team have taken a good, solid, hard, objective, critical look at your competition and tried to understand your competition, not from a kind of biased perspective, good guys versus bad guys, but from a really objective, clean, look yourself in the mirror and look them in the mirror and say, what are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? What do they do really well that we both admire, can emulate, and should take seriously in the competitive marketplace? And then what are their weaknesses? How can we take advantage of those weaknesses in our marketing and our proposals? And how do those weaknesses lead to opportunities? And then once you've got all of that mapped out, how do you get your message in front of your existing customers and in front of your target customers? You need a plan for that. There are multiple things that you can do. GovCon marketing is its own art and science. You don't need to spend a lot of money, but you do need to have a plan. What materials are you going to create? What do your capability statements look like? What does your email outreach need to look like? What does your LinkedIn presence need to look like? And who do you need to get your particular message in front of so that you are well positioned to bid and win the proposals that you have in your pipeline? That's that whole business strategy session. And that's just a taste of how we lead our clients through those discussions. And we'd be happy to talk to you about doing the same. So once you have that business strategy mapped out for the next 2 to 3, maybe 5 years. 5 years is a little bit long if you're a small business, but at least over the next 6 to 24, 36 months. You've got that strategy baked out. Now you're in a good position to build your strategic pipeline. So your strategic pipeline are those deals that you're planning, that you anticipate are going to be released. You know what vehicle they're going to come out on. You have reasonable intelligence and market insight into how the government is going to try to get that work on contract. You're positioned for that. You either have a position on those contract vehicles or you're monitoring the portals where those are going to be released, sam.gov, APHIS, PI, whatever the case may be. You're monitoring those things. You have the ability to influence those and stay on top of how the government's making their decision, because if the deal's not out yet, it could change. And so you want to put into your strategic pipeline a good, healthy mix of deals that are going to release and bear fruit and be ready to be proposed against over, the next maybe as early as 3 months, but certainly an good inside window is 6 months, and then proceeding out from there another 18 to 24 to 36 months. And you've got the amount of time and the amount of resource to dedicate toward putting capture toward those deals. So where do you source your opportunities for that strategic pipeline? I mean, you could certainly use some of the subscription services, HireGov, GovTribe, GovWin, etc. One of the things I would really encourage you to do is to go look at the FPDS data. This is one of the techniques that we use. This is why I built Fed Pipeline. This is why I built FPDS Plus. Look at the FPDS data, because every contract opportunity starts usually, especially in this kind of continuing age that we're in of continuing resolutions, where the government doesn't really create a lot of new programs, they're just repurposing all the old stuff. Every opportunity you're going to bid starts as an existing contract record. So if you can build a report, and we can help you with this is what we do, build a report of the contracts that meet your specifications within your particular market, the NAICS codes, industry segments, agency customers, set-aside types, contract vehicles that you work on. If you can build that FPDS report, that will tell you what pieces of work that current agency customer has on contract now, when they're due to expire, who the incumbents are, and you can use that as the foundation for your strategic pipeline. And then certainly use all the agency forecasts, use all the information you'll get from Deltek and all the other subscription tools to be well informed about how those opportunities are progressing, and then get into the habit of monitoring sam.gov. We've got a great tool called SAM Plus that provides some AI analytics on top of all the SAM postings. Encourage you to try that out, but get into the habit of monitoring SAM for the segment of the market that you're working on, so that when the government posts a draft RFP or a sources saw it or any kind of pre-solicitation announcement, that you're feeding that back into your CRM, and that's informing the capture that you're doing on your strategic pipeline. So now that we've got our strategic pipeline built, and I know that was just a high level, I'm trying to keep these episodes short and just talk about the concepts. Now we want to look at our tactical pipeline. What are you going to do when new opportunities and new RFQs get posted to eBuy on your GSA mass schedule, on your Oasis Plus contracts? What are you going to do about new deals that get posted by the Navy on Seaport E, or by the Army on ITES, or CIOSP3, or any of the other agency vehicles? What are you going to do about that? Were you planning on those? Did you know they were coming? There's a lot of things that get posted on the mass schedule and on Oasis Plus that you may not have been tracking, but if you look at them critically, they present excellent opportunities for you to write a proposal against. Also, those vehicles make good use of the RFI and the sources sought process. They can often post a draft RFP, and so that gives you a preview. RFIs are a great opportunity to get your message in front of your customer because it's in direct response to an RFI. They're obligated to read it. Well, now you've got an open door to begin to get your company in front of that agency customer. So build a capability. We've got some tools, by the way. You know, I've talked about RFQ Plus. We just mentioned SAM Plus. RFQ Plus is the tool that we built using AI and database technology to qualify RFQ task order requests that come out. Can really help accelerate that process for you and save you a lot of time. But build a process to be able to triage, qualify, and score tactical opportunities, because they present, when things get posted on a daily basis, they provide both insight into your growth opportunities. They give you opportunities to get your message in front of customers. And oftentimes, if you look at them properly and you've got the right team organized to be able to respond quickly, good opportunity to use consultants, by the way, respond to those tactical RFQs, especially if you can do them within your defined customer base, so that you get better and better at winning opportunities that happen that you weren't planning on. Just because you weren't planning on it doesn't mean you can't win it. You absolutely can win it, and I can give you lots of stories of customers that have built very good lines of business on these IDIQ vehicles and on the GSA schedule. So that's a quick discussion about business strategy, strategic pipelines, and tactical pipelines. If you haven't thought about those topics in a while, let me encourage you to revisit them. And if there's any way we can help you get organized for fiscal year 26 and beyond, please reach out. We'd love to do that. We wish you all the best in this new fiscal year, and we look forward to seeing you soon.